In this video, I am exploring the governance framework program performance domain, and we are doing 10 questions related to this particular performance domain. My objective of this video is it helps you in understanding the type of questions you can expect in the exam and also makes you a little more focused when you study the governance related topic in your program management standard, because you start seeing that small details which are there in your program management standard may come up as a question in your exam. So let's start with first question. Now, as usual, if you want to pause in between, feel free to do it. I will keep talking about the question soon. So during the program delivery phase, a key stakeholder raised a concern about rising trend of input cost and request an update on how these changes are impacting overall program cost and benefit realization. As the program manager, which of the following would be the most appropriate document to provide? Yeah, so something is happening and the stakeholder is concerned. What should you do? Market analysis report looks good. Yeah, maybe depends. So first thing is, in order to handle this question, I need to get into in which particular phase I am in. So it is very clear that you are in a delivery phase. So in a delivery phase, the justification of the program is already done. You already have an approved business case, you already have a approved program charter. So you need to focus on something which is ongoing information related to increase in cost, related to current benefit status, the current information related to program, and how are we proceeding forward. That is the focus area. So market analysis report may be a good input if I am in a program formulation surface, yeah, where we are evaluating business case, but here it is not looking that much relevant. Program performance reports looks great because we understand the program performance reports help us in understanding where we are on a frequent basis during the program delivery, or you call it program execution. We should get this particular information with the help of this report frequently. So I like this option. Option C, cost benefit analysis. You may like it. You may see that yes, there is a cost, there is a benefit. You do a cost benefit analysis in the business case or in a program formulation phase. You can do cost benefit analysis if you are evaluating any particular change or any directional change. The question is not indicating anything which is requested. The question is only indicating what is happening. Yeah, what is happening because of the current trend. I am feeling a little uncomfortable. I want to know what is happening in the surrounding area. So some people may end up selecting cost benefit analysis, but it is not the right option. Program business case, definitely easy to rule out because this is not something which the stakeholder is looking as a justification. Even if you think that I want to show the relevance of the current business case, but business case may not be necessarily needed in this particular case. It could be a confidential document also. We need to know where we are in a current program, and that can be done with the help of program performance reports. So from my perspective, that's the answer. And I can give a justification based on your program management standard, page number 162. You can definitely read details about what is program performance report. This particular page number or section which you see on my screen is coming from the program governance framework performance domain. So you feel free to explore it further. I'm not spending time explaining it here. Going to a question number 2. Yeah. So as a program manager, you are responsible for setting up standard and structure for program and project management, covering governance tools, framework, finance, governance tools, finance, and reporting to drive efficiency and consistency across all program component. Which of the following approach you best support would best support this particular objective? That's the overall idea. So you are coming up with the overall governance framework, overall governance plan, overall structure to ensure that we have a consistency in our way of working. That seems to be the question. Option A, consult program component project managers to discuss their specific need and expectations. We are saying, so again, first we focus on where we are in a program life cycle. So it is very clear that we are in a program definition phase because you are setting up something, you are setting up some standard. Even you could be a program formulation surface because this looks to be a very initial stage. Yeah. So at this particular point in time, I may not have a project managers, project components well identified, project teams may not be there. So if I start thinking that way, the option A easily goes out because I don't have to consult a project manager to discuss their needs and expectation because at that stage, they may not be available to me. Option B, establish program and project management standards using a combination of industry best practices and organization standards. Looks good. I need to start with organization process asset. I need to start with what is available in the environmental factor. So that looks very good. Option B. Option C, ask the program sponsor to recommend a suitable governance framework. You can do that. You can do some stakeholder survey as well. But option B is anyway better. I rather than informally or even formally, I ask a sponsor. Sponsor is not an expert in all these things. Sponsor is a business leader. I am the one who is expected to know more about these governance tools and financing and reporting, etc. So asking sponsor may not be a good idea here. Option D, develop an approach based on your previous program management experience. You can do that. But again, the B is better option. The looking at your program management experience is more like you are applying your expert judgment, but your expert judgment may not be applicable to a current organization, current funding organization's expectation. So I need to understand my current organization standards and my industry standards. That seems to be a better option in this particular case. So I will go with option B here, and I am picking up this from a governance task, which is clearly saying they develop the program and project management standard and structure, governance tools, finance and reporting. I picked up the question as it is. Yeah. And you can expect that kind of question. Some of the tasks may show up just as a question, and you need to just pick up the full statement of that particular task, and that's an easy catch for you. You can get the answer just based on common sense and elimination as well. But yeah, reviewing the program management PGMP exam content outline can give you few questions directly as well. Moving to the question number 3. So during the delivery phase of the complex program, a moderate severity operational risk was identified in both component A and component B. Okay. Later, it was discovered that the risk was more severe at the program level than initially assessed within each component, resulting in significant impact on the program timeline and budget. As the program manager, what action would you take to prevent a similar situation in the future? So what I'm understanding from a question perspective is that we are in a delivery phase. That's easy. Yeah, because the question is clearly showing so. If it is not showing, then we need to figure it out where we are. And it is clearly showing that there are two components at least. Yeah, so we are again indicating we are in a delivery phase. Both are running. And component A and B both has a moderate severity risk. But at a program level, this moderate severity was not moderate, it was big. When it occurred, we had a bigger impact. So risk became issue, we had a bigger impact. And how do I ensure that my component saying moderate, but program level it is becoming big? So next time, how do I handle this particular situation so I don't have this repetition of issue? Yeah, so that's the idea, risk becoming issue. Let's see. Option A, ensure program managers within project managers within each component document their risks and share updates with the program office more frequently. So you can say, yeah, I can do a more frequent risk management approach. But see, what is the problem here? The problem is not associated with that you were not aware of it. The problem is not associated with that you came to know late about it. If out of these two things are given, then option A makes a better sense. The problem is something which is focusing on compounding of the risk. It is like the risk A and risk B becomes not A plus B, it becomes A multiplied by B or something like that. It got multiplied. A multiplying effect has happened at a program level. So how do I avoid the compounding of the risk in the next experience onwards? Option B, revisit the risk management plan of each component to determine risk severity level. So this is diverting. It is saying you, how could you say this is a moderate risk at a component level? If it is creating bigger severity, next time don't call it a moderate. So there is a possibility, but it could be a moderate for that particular program. So here it is saying we will change the risk management plan and try to see if they are doing wrong classification. So idea here, the question is not talking about wrong classification. Question is asking about compounding. So I can ignore option B. Option C, implement a cross-component risk management process that regularly assess interdependency and potential compounding effect of the risk. That's it. That's what we are looking for. So at a program management level, usually I should suspect that something is coming at a component level. The question might be judging my exposure, my experience, how do I handle it at a program level? So that's why option C looks great. Lower the risk escalation threshold at a component level to ensure earlier escalation of the program levels. So the question is not indicating about late escalation. Question is not indicating about missing information. Question is focusing on compounding. That's why I can go with option C without thinking too much about this particular question. You can see the detail related to compounding of the risk in your program management standard. In the governance section, you have a paragraph explaining what is compounding and what is cascading. You can find it on page number 114. That's an important thing you should explore in your program management standard. Going to a question number 4. During a program status discussion with a key state beneficiary, they suggested a change, and your sponsor expressed interest, stating, "We should do this. What should you do the next?" Yeah, so you and your sponsor is discussing something with someone, and this is happening. Now where are you are in a program delivery phase. That's very clear. What kind of things this question is probably is checking? It is checking my ability to handle change. So change management is the focus area, and change governance is also a focus area. So I can say, okay, program delivery, change governance, and sponsor liking the idea. What the question might be asking me, the question is asking, how do I take care of it? Option A, do the initial change assessment to identify the change management process needed for the change. Looks good idea. That's a perfectly thing I can do. Option B, document the change request and send it to the steering committee for approval. Now, many of you may start thinking B as a better option. Yeah, but I believe A is a better option and we'll discuss it. Option C, inform the impacted component to take care of the change. Yeah, that is possible. We can say this change has been understood. Sponsor has approved it. Why don't you do it? Yeah, so you can do an impact analysis and inform the component guy. Add for additional fund for implementing this change. We don't know if the funds are needed or not, so definitely we can discard the D. Now the game is between A and B. As per my perception, when I was making this particular question, I was thinking, how do we relate to A and B? So say A is focusing on doing assessment. Not necessarily each change required a steering committee approval. Not necessarily each change goes through a similar process. But even if sponsor is recommending it, I need to follow a change management process. That's obviously clear. But I will do assessment of it. If the A option was not there, then I can go with the B. But here I have a better option than B, because it is saying I can look into it. Probably I need to send it to a steering committee, probably not. And that's why I go with option A. And that's what my preferred option here. And I can show you the reference talking about the manage change as per the change management plan. That is clearly coming in. And when you look into the program change governance section in your program management standard, you have a clear indication talking about the governance framework should talk about the various roles and identify which kind of changes has to go to steering committee, what kind of changes can be approved at different level. So those kind of details are available in your program change governance in page number 115. So you need to do assessment, and based on that you will decide what should I do with it. Yeah, that's how you follow the change management plan. Question number 5. Your program is in the delivery phase. Easy, because we at least know the phase. And one of the component has completed its objective 1 month ahead of the schedule. Okay. With benefits already delivered to the operational team, the program support team will continue some sustenance activities for this particular component. In order to close the component, what should be your approach? Yeah. So basically you're looking for closure, but there is a twist that closure 1 month in advance. Yeah, it was not planned that way. So what should we do? Should we really go for closure, or what we do here? Option A, complete component closure readiness activity and seek approval from the steering committee. Looks good idea. That's a great thing to do. I can go ahead and do it. Option B, initiate a change request to close the program component early. Some of you may start thinking that seems to be a better option. Let's see. We will explore it. I want to explore A and B more. Option C, wait for another month to ensure project team supports benefit sustenance. That could be also an option, because currently you are doing benefit sustenance activity. So why don't we hold the project team to continue that rather than our program team doing it? Option D, allocate other component work to the project team for the remaining duration of the project. That seems to be the idea which many program managers end up doing, saying why to create issue and talk about we want to close this, let utilize these resources but keep the project open. But you don't do it in a PGMP exam. Yeah. So option C and D definitely you can avoid, because we need to go for a closure. There is too much assumption need to be added. Why to do a sustenance activity at a program level? Can't we do it at a project level? Maybe it doesn't require that much people. So I need to add a lot of assumption before I start thinking about C and D. Now, main game is between A and B. So what do? I see we need to clearly look into the question, because A and B both could be the right option for a different situation. If the program component is not clearly showing that it has met its objective, and we are trying to do early closure because of some reason, definitely I need to go for a change request. but the question is clearly indicating the program component or a project has achieved its deliverable. It has done all the work. Then unnecessary, I don't have to go to a change request here because it has cleared its thing. And second, I am anyway taking approval for the closure from the steering committee. I am not declaring the closure on my own. So I will proceed with the closure process and I will ask for approval. In case some deviations are needed, we will talk about it, but I will go ahead and proceed with the closure. Now here I can't give you a very clear reference from program management standard. It is little bit on interpretation. You may have a difference of opinion as well, but this is how I wanted to challenge and make the things clear that there could be a need of change request for changing the duration or scope of a particular component. But if we are doing closure after the completion of successful deliverable, we can directly go ahead and proceed for closure activity. But anyway, the approval will be coming later on. Yeah, so I'm not giving any reference, directly saying that this is my option. Option A is the right option for me. And I move to question number 6. So here your program management plan has been approved. Okay. According to the roadmap, you are scheduled to initiate a component project next month. Okay. So it could be a program delivery phase already because approval of a program management plan shows that I'm done with the program planning. So I'm in a program delivery phase and we are expected to initiate a component. That's the question is saying. The project business case was prepared and approved 1 month ago. Okay, so I have a business case approved also. What is the next step to formally initiate the component project? We can say, yeah, there is a time we should be starting it. We have taken a business case approval also. I want to start this particular component. What should I do as a program manager? Option A, allocate resources for the project based on the required skills and competencies. I should be doing it. But before that, I might do something. Let's see. Option B, seek approval from the steering committee to initiate the component project. I think great idea. Let's see. Option C, conduct a kickoff meeting with the component stakeholder to align on project objective. Maybe after A and B, I want to do C. Maybe first I do B, then I do A, then I do C. That seems to be a good idea. And then D, onboard the project team and conduct a team building activity. I think I will go for B first as a sequence of activity, and then I will go for A, and then I will go for C, and then I will go for D. These are the sequence of things we have to do. So keep in mind, program component initiating required approval. Now, some of you may start thinking, I already have an approved business case. So why to go? It's been a 1 month. It might need to be revisited. Second, the project required project charter to get started. You need to have authorization for the project. The question is nowhere indicating the project authorization is done. It was planned. It is planned. Yeah? That all is there. And that is the trick in this question. We need to keep in mind initiating of a component in the program do required approval. Yeah, so you need to go to an appropriate authority. In some organization, there could be another authority than steering committee also. You might be that approving authority also. But for an exam perspective, safely playing, we can say, yes, we will go to a governance group to ensure that we have an appropriate approval for initiating the component in a today's environment. That's how you win. And your operation, the option B is the winner here. And you can see this whole thing coming from your program management standard, page number 116, focusing on program component initiation and transition. So this is the major section in the governance, and you will get tested for it frequently in your PGMP exam. Question number 7, which of the following set of elements is most likely to be included in a program governance plan? So you know how to crack this particular thing. So this one will be the full lesson of your program governance in program management standard. You open your program management standard and try to see what are the elements are discussed in the program governance framework section. That's the area which is a program performance domain, and based on that you can answer it. So option A, quality management standard, you will find it. The quality management is expected to be governed. Change management guidelines, you will find it. Roles and responsibility for governance participants, you will find it. Yeah, so A looks great here. Option B, program closure guidance, you will find it. Program initiation and closure, program closure guidelines, component initiation and closure process, you will find it. Milestone schedule, you may not find it. Yeah, so option B had two great idea, but because of milestone schedule, you need to strike the option B out. Yeah, so we still have a winner option, option A. Option C, team performance evaluation guideline, most likely not, because we are not going at a team level at a program governance. Communication method and uses, Some guidance of communication could be there, stakeholder engagement guidance could be there, some privacy security related the governance requirement could be there. Financial reporting method maybe may not be, that's possible because some of the KPIs we need to talk about, some kind of governance reporting might be needed, it could be there. But definitely team performance evaluation is not there, so I can strike out the option C as well. Option D, component quality guidance, component level quality guidance could be there at some percentage. Governance process audit could be there, that should be a part of your program governance management plan or governance plan, program governance plan. Yeah, you may not add management there. And life cycle recommendation for projects, most likely not. Yeah, there could be some guidelines, but not necessary you have a special recommendations for the project that this project will be using this one. Again, I need to compare between D and A. So D is very specific to component level quality guidance, which may be not there. Yeah, where the A is talking about generic quality, and the life cycle recommendation for project, at least you will not find the word in the program management standard specifically talking about the life cycle recommendation, and I need to play safe, so I will go with the option A. Yeah, so there could be guidance for selection of the life cycle, there is a possibility, but not necessary recommendation for the project, so that is not there. So we can go with option A in this particular case. You can definitely map the whole governance lesson or a governance section of your program management standard to study this particular idea. So question number 8, as a program manager, you are preparing to transition your program to the next phase. So phase movement is happening. Which of the following actions would best support obtaining authorization to proceed? So you are moving from one phase to another phase. What should you do in order to authorize starting of the next phase? Seems to be a very easy question if you really read the program governance tasks or even the program management like PGMP, the program management standard version 5. So conduct a stakeholder survey to gather feedback on program progress. You can do it, but the problem is authorization to move to the next phase. There could be a phase closure activity which required conducting customer survey. That could be, but not necessary authorization. So it's a good idea, but not critical idea. Option B, obtain approval through a stage gate review by presenting the program status to governance authority. That's the obvious winner here. Complete the final final performance evaluation and submit a summary to the sponsor. Yeah, so yes, that is good idea, but the whole idea is we are not closing the whole program. We are moving from one phase to another phase, and I am asking for approval. Yeah, so I need to get it review rather than just submitting my report. Yeah, so B and C, B is better because it is more action oriented. D, request a component manager to submit individual project updates. I might do that. Yeah, it might be a part of my gate review. It might be, but the B is in a way including C and D. So that's why I will go with the B, because I need to formally move to the next thing. This is coming from the task also. You have a task 3 in your governance topic, which talks about obtain authorization and approval through the stage gate review by presenting the program status and governance authorities to proceed to the next phase. So that's a direct thing which is coming from this question. Question number 9. So during a project health check review meeting, you discover an issue in the project A might impact project B. What would you do? What would be your next action? So that's a little tricky, and probably you need to apply some judgment. You may not get a ready-made answer from the program management standard as well as from program management exam content outline. Some kind of judgment is needed. So option A, ask project B to also register the issue in the issue register. So first thing is, for project B, it is not an issue. So how can I record it in issue register? It might impact. Yeah. So there is a possible risk. Yeah, that could be the case, but not an issue. Option B, ask project B to raise a risk in the risk register. Yes. Yeah. And link it to the project A's issue. I can do that. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a possibility. But what is my primary action? B is a good thing to do, but I'm looking for my primary action also. Option C. So as of now, I will go with B. A and B, B looks great. Option C, record the current issue in the program level risk issue log. Looks like better. Now we'll talk about it. Record this as a risk in the program level risk register. So see, this is the case. So when I'm dealing with the PGMP exam, I need to read the question from the perspective of program manager. And I need to focus on what should I do when I see that there are more than one component may get impacted because of something. So whenever the mixture of projects and impact is coming, there is a possibility of compounding of the thing, and I need to take care of it at a program level. At the same time, I also want a component level person to look into it, but I need to take care of a program level. That's the important thing. Now, out of C and D, should I take care of it as a risk at a program level, or should I take care of it as an issue at a program level? And that is the important area. Since it is already an issue in the given project, and I better track the issue, because I can consider the issue severity is increased because it has a potential of impacting other component as well. So issues which has a potential of impacting more than one projects, I better take care of them at a program level. Adding a risk at a program level may be not an appropriate thing, because it's a current ongoing issue. Yeah. So that's the reason I am selecting C. You may have a difference of opinion here, because it is something required little bit interpretation and judgment, but this is how I see this particular question. We definitely can map it to the overall the compounding and cascading related topics, which talks about that yes, we need to escalate the issue when we see that it has a impact more than multiple places. So we need to have a timely manner, but I don't think that you have a specific statement saying that it has a more than one project impact. That's why you are doing it, but you need to take care of it because you are a program manager. Question number 10. As a program manager, you are informed of a new portfolio level risk that could affect your program and its component. What should you do to ensure effective risk management across the program? So here, the risk is coming from top to you. Yeah, portfolio level risk or organization level risk is coming to you. What should you do? So if you study your program management standard, you will see the concept of cascading of the risk. Yeah, so here the cascading risk is the focus area. We need to focus this particular question accordingly. Option A, communicate the risk details to the impacted component team and ensure it's tracked and managed at the component level. You need to do it, but you need to track it at a program level also. Yeah, so option A, little incomplete. Let's see. Option B, seek guidance from the steering committee on how to handle portfolio level risk. They have already given you the guidance in your overall governance plan. Yeah, they already have. So that could be the question back. Is this situation is happening in a program formulation or planning phase? Then possibly I can go for guidance, especially if it is happening in a program formulation phase. I want to agree on how should we handle these kind of situation. But this seems to be a situation where you are ongoing and you already have a component, because you have a specific thing. You probably can say, I need to have an agreed upon approach. I need to just cascade this particular risk. Option C, record the risk at the program level and ensure it is documented and tracked within each impacted component. Looks like a great idea. Record the risk at a program level and ensure it has been documented and tracked within within each impacted component. Yeah, so that seems to be a little error here. I have probably copied the same option twice. Yeah, but that's the thing. So you can say C and D is there is a missing a link here, but yes, that's the idea. So these are the two same option. I think I missed one option in the copy paste here. So you need to record at a program level and ensure it is also documented and tracked at each impacted component. So that's how we go. That's what your 10 questions within 30 minutes for the governance topic of your program management. If you are looking more details, do check into our content. If you are already having access to it, if you are looking specific advice, assistance, we do run various mentoring and assistance program to help you to get PGMP certified in a shortest possible time.